Today we're glad to be chatting with Matt Shively. Hi, Matt. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, and we're actually really happy that you just joined the troupe.
Yes, it actually just premiered a couple weeks ago. It's awesome.
Yes, and have you liked filming the show?
It was a big change from what I was used to at True Jackson, but it was a blast. It was long hours, and it was grueling at times, but it was like one of the most learning experiences I've had to date since I got into this business. So it was amazing.
Nice, and tell us what's a day like for you on the set.
Well, you get there at like 6 a.m. in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, and you get your breakfast, and then you go straight to work, and you rehearse your scenes. Every time they want to do a different setup with the camera, and so you're kind of just, you stand there, and then you rehearse your scene, and then they film it, and then you go back to your trailer, and you just kick back for an hour to 2 hours, and then you go and you film the next scene, and then we would usually get out anywhere from like 6 to 7 o'clock at night, depending on when the girls had to wrap from school. So.
Sounds like fun. And tell me, does that film in Canada?
Yeah, it filmed in Vancouver, which was absolutely amazing. If everybody should visit Vancouver. It's amazing.
Very nice. And tell me, do you have a favorite episode that you filmed so far?
Yeah, we did this episode. I think it's called "Start Me Up," and it was where Kirby had developed this Kirby bot, and so it was actually really cool. I had to play, the character I played, and then also a robot as well, and so it was like going back and forth, switching from different characters, and having to go through like an hour of makeup to make myself look like the shiny plastic robot thing. It was so cool.
Yeah. That's awesome, and we actually watched the show, and we're glad you joined.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, no, I got that call, and it was just, I was super excited to be able to go to a different country and film something, and then to be able to go and do it with those people. It was like, it was instant family, so it was really nice.
Oh yeah, now if you could fight any type of monster on the show, what creature would you like to take to a challenge?
I'll probably go with the reflected Laconis, and that was a mirror monster, and I'd say that because it would probably, in my opinion, be the easiest to defeat. I mean, it's made of glass, so I feel like that would just be pretty simple.
And now filming, they're obviously not there during filming, so how is it? Is it kind of difficult for you to work with the monsters that aren't there?
It was really cool to be able to do that for the first time because, you're playing with nothing. We didn't even get like the, Shia LaBeouf says they got a tennis ball and that's how they saw their Transformers. But, we didn't even get a tennis ball. It's like you just have to look into this green screen or you just look into this area and imagine that this thing is there. And they would show you like a picture of a drawing of what it would look like. So it kind of gave you a pretty good idea as to what you were fighting, but it's just really cool to kind of see it come to life, and once they've added it in there, and see how your response to it actually works or it doesn't work. So it's really cool.
Because you're working with monsters pretty much like every scene, every episode here, so it must be kind of hard to work with. So.
Yeah, no, it was the most difficult times was working on green screen when we would literally just be standing on a floor that was green with 3 walls around us that were green, and no set or anything, and just us standing there and having to kind of act out this full-length scene with nothing around you. That was the most difficult because you're pantomiming but also talking. Those are crazy.
Oh yeah, now tell me, we'd like to see Kirby matched up with someone. Do you think that would ever happen in a future episode?
Well, I can say that while filming the troupe, I got my first on-screen kiss. So I can go that deep. It was actually possibly in my favorite episode as well. So.
Now, it wasn't a monster, was it?
It was not a monster. No, it was just a plain old girl.
Ah, okay. We'll have to look out for that episode.
Yeah.
And now, comparing back to True Jackson VP, would you say you're more like your character Ryan or more like your current character Kirby?
Oh, that's a very good question. I think I think I'm like a medium in between both of them. Because Ryan is much more dorkier and much more dumb, if you will, than Kirby is. And Kirby is extremely intelligent. He's just super klutzy. And I think I'm somewhere right in between those two characters, where I'm a little more subtle than Ryan, but I'm also kind of as crazy as Kirby is, but I'm not. I guess actually Kirby. I don't know. It's such a hard question.
Well, we definitely like your character Ryan, his comedic self on True, so that's cool too.
He's definitely funnier. I think he's funnier.
Yes.
He's not as good looking, but he is funnier.
And you go figure, they're the same person, so you wonder, right?
Yeah, I wonder. The closer to the camera, the better I look. So.
And then tell me, are there any upcoming episodes set to air?
We've got Start Me Up, which is the robot one that is coming in, and then we have this episode that had we had to dress up like chickens. So that one's coming up as well. There's me kissing a girl episode, and there might be a possible Haley and Jake meet-up episode coming here pretty soon, and we have like ice zombies and all kinds of stuff. Very
nice. Looking forward to that. And tell me, when working on True Jackson, do you think that helped you with styling tips?
100%. Not my character specifically, but being able to watch all of the fashion for everybody else, because I can't say that my character really had very much of a fashion sense whatsoever, but watching all of the other outfits they put together and stuff, it really makes you a lot more conscious of when you're putting on your own clothes and trying to match and trying to, not look too bright or not look too dark sort of deal, so.
Absolutely. And then tell me, do you have a favorite episode to date of True Jackson or a memorable moment of Ryan?
I think my favorite episode still is the rival episode that Andy Richter was on when we had a huge chess game, and that was just so cool because we got to actually be on like a human chessboard, and I got to play the king and stuff. So that was probably my favorite episode to date, and my favorite Ryan moment is still probably from the episode where we find macrame ducks, and I have to hide from Mr. Madigan. I think it's like the 5th episode we did, but that's probably my favorite moment, was having to hide from Mr. Madigan, but not hiding behind anything but my hands.
You know which one was our favorite episode? We liked the one when Mr. Madigan had the challenge for everybody. You guys were kind of like in not a forest scene, the game show. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that episode. Gosh, that was so long ago, but yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Guy, the man who played the host was absolutely hilarious.
Yes. Yeah, that was the first episode we ever saw, and after we saw that, we're like, we got to keep watching this show. It's that good.
Well, thank you.
And you actually just did a song with Tony Oller. Did you happen to steal the show with your mad rapping skills?
Listen, we actually, after doing that, we realized that we wanted to kind of do something a little more with that, because Sterling is always, I was doing this connecting channels thing with Sterling for a bit, and he's such a busy guy that it was kind of like we didn't really have time for it. So Tony and I have started this thing called, we're calling it Static, where we're going to make like a, kind of like a 303 sound, and I have a lot of fun writing. That's kind of where I get all of my emotions and stuff out, and it's the same thing for Tony. And so when we get kind of lay down stuff, and when it actually comes out slightly good, we're like, well, we just need to throw it out there and have people listen to it. So I just like to entertain.
Well, we actually just posted it on our website, and we got quite a good reaction on it, and I think the fans want to see more.
Well, you will probably have another one up later this week, and then we're actually working on like an original one where it's like all instrumentals and stuff, and all of that is all made by us, which we'll probably be putting up on iTunes hopefully in the next couple weeks. So
that's awesome. So great to hear.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
And then tell us about your Twitter, which is Shively1. How do you like using Twitter?
I love it. I wish I didn't have the one in my name, but I'm dealing with it, and I think I'm up to like 17,000 followers, which is the highest. Every time I would make a Twitter, 2 months later it would get deleted because they thought it was like an imposter or something, and so they would delete my Twitter, and I would always have like 12,000 followers, and then just delete it overnight, and then just have to build that up. And I think I'm almost at like 18,000 now, so I'm really excited that many people are actually interested in seeing what I do with 140 characters.
Oh yeah, 20,000 for the win. We're rooting for that.
Yeah.
Tell us, do you have a favorite tweet that either you've tweeted or someone has tweeted to you?
I just got one that someone tweeted to me. I just got a tweet from somebody today, actually, that was probably the weirdest, funniest tweet I've ever gotten. And it was from a fan, and they asked me if I was ticklish. They were like, weird question, are you ticklish? And then they said, ... If so, are your feet ticklish? And it was a little creepy, but it was just like what was going through that person's head to tweet me that specific question and ask me if my feet were ticklish? It's just crazy, like certain things that people want to know about you.
Exactly. And the answer is yes? No?
The answer is yes, extremely. I'm extremely ticklish all over.
And we just want to know, were you the lucky one that got chosen? Like she's thinking, okay, I got to tweet Matt Shively. Were you the only one she wrote this to?
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I would really hope so.
So you're the lucky one.
I hope she doesn't want to know if anybody else is ticklish.
Yeah. It's a funny question. And now we actually have a couple facts to ask you. So this is Facts with Matt Shively. And the first one is, tell us your current ringtone.
My current ringtone is actually this kind of like dubstep clubby thing. I don't know. It came with the phone because my phone broke last week. But I'm actually digging it, and all of my friends have commented on like I bought it off the web or something. But no, it came with the phone.
Very nice. And then tell us your favorite fast food restaurant.
In-N-Out. 100% In-N-Out.
In-N-Out. Good choice. Good choice. And then tell us, what poster did you have on your wall growing up, whether it was a favorite celebrity crush of yours or your idol at the time?
I had, believe it or not, which is now that it stands the way it does, it probably wasn't the greatest choice, but my two biggest crushes, I had pictures all over the place of Lindsay Lohan and Tara Reid, believe that or not. And they were like, when Parent Trap came out, and she was just the cutest thing in the world. And so I had a bunch of those posters, and I had a Amityville Horror poster because Ryan Reynolds is one of my favorite actors. So.
Very nice. And we heard you're a fan of Shia LaBeouf as well. What would you do if you? What would you do if you met him?
I don't know. I would shake his hand. I would tell him that he's a fantastic actor, and that he probably gets that a lot. And then I'd probably freeze up and need to walk away at that point. Yes,
definitely. And we actually have another question for you. This one is the first time we're asking a celebrity, so you're our first trial here. So tell us, if you were one of these games, and if it was real, which one would you choose? Candyland with real candy, Monopoly with real money, or Hungry Hungry Hippos with real hippos?
Okay, well, see, now I threw that third one in there. I'm going to go with Candyland. With real candy.
Yeah.
I am a junk food junkie, so Candyland for sure.
Good choice. I think I would agree on that one. Sounds good.
Thank you.
And then since you're a Nick star, here's another would you rather question. Would you rather join Big Time Rush and become their 5th boy band member? Would you rather join Victorious and go to their performing arts high school? Or join Bucket and Skinner and become a surfer?
I would like to join Bucket and Skinner and become a surfer. That is the funniest show on Nickelodeon ever. That is one of the best shows on Nickelodeon. I love that show. Because I wanna be the third guy on that show with them because they're awesome. But that's a funny show. It's so funny.
Yeah, every episode is great. I love that show too. So good. Yeah, you should be a guest star on there. You should tell Ashley to have you on the show.
I will tell them to start working on it.
That would be great. And is there anything else you want to tell your fans out there?
I live by a phrase, sure. Tell them, without struggle, there is no progress. I can't tell you where I heard that, but I know I heard it 7 years ago, and ever since then, I live by that. Every day that I wake up and, as far as bullying and all those kinds of things go, without struggle, there is no progress. You know what I mean?
That's great. Absolutely. You're definitely right. So everyone needs to make sure to stay tuned with Matt on The Troop and follow him on Twitter.